Good evening, good afternoon, and good morning. I'm Prismal, and today we're still doing some more SpellRogue because I need to unlock everything for Sephara, and I'm kind of like in a point of where I'm like, I need to kind of like get good at the game and work really hard. So we're going to try and do a level 3 hard descent with the usual setup. We're going to try and go full on static. I was trying to mess around with shifting and stuff like that and try to do some runs, although like they just kind of didn't really go the way I wanted to in the past. But yeah, we're just going to jump in and see what we can do from here. As far as everything else goes, we'll be having more variety content again because I will be getting back to normal recording. So I did a bunch of bulk recording just from my, not the weekend just gone, the previous weekend before that. My brother had a very lovely wedding, so I kind of had to make sure I was all set up and I had a bunch of stuff just to make sure, and I kind of overdid it. I kind of overdid it, so essentially, that is what happened overall. But yeah, so now I'm having fun and kind of just sorting out all the other stuff that kind of went really badly for me. But we can still do everything we need. Okay. Try and kill this thing quickly. We've got to worry about the regen that we picked up on this, so that's going to be something to watch out for. This one spark will do fine. Deal 10 damage, and then deal 4. Now, build we're going to try today is we're just kind of try and abuse the gaining of, try one of these to a 3, just means to get more damage out of it. And do we do that again? Turn to 4 into 6, or do we do 2 into 5? 2 into 5 seems good. That way I can get more armor to make sure we're good, and we still do 10 damage. And we should be good next turn as well. So yeah, it was a lovely weekend. You know, nice to spend with all the family and everything else, and at the same time as well, we got to all celebrate my brother and, well, his now wife getting properly hitched, and we did an entire fancy dress for the afterdo, which was great fun. I absolutely loved it, and I went as the Joker. You know, because I am crazy. But yeah, let's take up the focus blast. I like that kind of early. That's going to be kind of nice as well, I think. Or do we go choke? We can mess around with choke. I like the idea of choke, but no, let's go focus blast. The conduit is going to be really useful to kind of help deal extra damage, and maybe we'll learn from my other lessons of runs that I've done in the past recently with Sephara. I have like really good runs, and my concentration is just the thing that's kind of ruined it for me. Is I seem to just like make too many mistakes, and then yeah, it's kind of like it's my own fault for losing, which is kind of like what I deserve really. So not much I can really do about it as such, but there's plenty I can do about it. I just gotta pay more attention, right? And that's what we're going to try and do. We're going to learn from my mistakes. That is 10, that is a kill, and we're going to have some good fun. But yeah, other than that, I mean, I hope everyone else had kind of a nice weekend or a couple of weeks. I did like this last time. It really did hurt me, but it's a really good defensive tool, so I'll pick it up. And focus blast, twin shield, there we go. Can we get to elite fights? We cannot. We could go shop into an elite fight. That still gives us everything we need, and I do like that idea, actually. Same pretty much on this end, although we do get that before rather than after. Yeah, we'll go this way. Because this could give me more gold, and that's the reason why we'll pick the shard up. Lose the spell, gain 100 gold. 12 damage for 1 power seems pretty good. I'd rather take the gold. Then what are we getting rid of here? If we are doing that. Right? Like, I'd have to get rid of something, and like, all these are really cool stuff to have, but 100 gold is something I can't really give up on. And this is my only spark gain, so I guess we're getting rid of twin shield then. Unfortunately, I think it's the best way to go about it, because I like my offensive stuff, and I could probably get really good more. Remove all and get armor. I like this, I think it's pretty good. Static gain to get the Breath of Thunder going as well could be pretty interesting. We have a good amount to get both. Shifting is kind of not really necessary. I think both these are pretty good. If I get a good setup for them, I think I can like really kind of, you know, we'll take that as well as a good potion to have in our back pocket. So now, like, on here, we can just get, like, gain 3 or just gain more armor from it. I think that's pretty good. I think this, rather than this, is a good start. We can now get rid of this, I think, because 6s can go in there. And this can be some good kind of payoff defense, maybe, in a way. Which means we might as well disenchant this. And we can't gain anything else. But, yeah, we'll move on. I think this is a great turn to start using the Electrified Storms, Lavala Force, Lavala Storms straight away. This just gives me an extra roll dice, which is really good, so it kind of help me out in the fights that I'll need it as well. So I'm going to enjoy that as much as possible by doing stuff like this and just generating a good amount of die. I think it's like really useful to do that. We can then put 6s in really cool stuff, gain good defense, gain attack. We can eventually one-shot stuff with this, and yeah, don't really need to do that. I want to play the conduit effect, so we'll do this twice because that's a good amount of ones. Could look at getting defense or stuff, but I think we'll just put them all in here because like gives me a good amount of static, and then we'll get more for the start of the next turn, and yeah. We can start really making use of that quite nicely. So that's 24 damage straight away at the moment. I think applying the conduit again seems really good. Doing that for 6 gives us a 2. We can actually give myself 32 defense. We do lose it all, but that is absolutely fine for what we're doing. And then deal 27 damage. This is what I mean by, like, getting just enough of the static early is so important and is actually, like, really useful. That can be a good even die to go in there, so we'll do that. We'll do it again, because the extra defense could be important. Or do we just go for this? Yeah, I think we just sacrifice all the static in the defense and survive. Yeah, conjugate static. I think this is probably the better one of the removal effects, just because the fact that it has an extra benefit to do other stuff as well, which is kind of nice. Which is something that I would never underestimate, right? Get the kill anyway, because the conduit. Right. I think it's something that I think is like really kind of underestimated in that way. Shifting we don't want to deal with. Shock is kind of interesting and can also gain some static and deal a bit of damage. Reducing if targets reduce adjacent spells. That does technically help this out and this, and it is a bit better than this if we're not going for like other stuff, and also helps scaling. So yeah, I'm going to pick Shock up actually. I think it has a place within this build. Probably a little bit more than Focus Blast, actually. And then we put it like dead center here, and gaining that could be pretty useful, because it also helps scale. Like both of these and stuff. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. I'm not really doing it for damage-wise, and like anything big enough is going to go in other places, or defense anyway, so we're not really worried about that sort of thing. My delightfulness on being able to immediately do this. Overflow die, thank you. Do it again, because we do get one back, and we spend one, so there we go. Now I can immediately use 4. Do we have more 3s? We do have more 3s, so that and that. I do need some armor, so that is something we should probably have a look at setting up as well, which we do have a 2 and a 5 to do that. Evens, not really much anything else we can do, so that and that go in there. That can go in there, that gives us the full amount of armor we need, and then we'll set this up. Broken on the one spell I did not wish it to land on, that is much disappointment, but we can do that. Gain even on there, roll this. We have 4, we just need a bit more, so 2. Set up some more defense and do that. It's not the best, but the main thing I want to be able to do is just get the kill with this at some point. It would be nice, so... And maybe just get like more charges of this is kind of also the important bit. Because it is becoming more and more difficult to kind of do what I want to be able to do, right? And that's now faded, which is very annoying, but... No, I think I'll just do this and this, get the shot on that, and then think about trying to set the rest up. That's not great. So that should be able to do is cast this again. We got the 4th from there, so we'll do that, get extra die. Turn that to a 4, that rolls over, so that is 4, 6, 7. It's not 18. That is attacking though, so there is a reason for us to do this. Because it basically doubles the effect of it anyway. We can put an even in there and an even in here. We can set this up quite nicely. And eventually we'll get the one shot more. I like those actually aren't actually doing much. Oh, 7 damage to me and you're going to kill yourself. Cool. Hey, this is a good build. I'm liking this. I mean, we picked up... Odd gain static. Ooh, echoing wind. Seems interesting. Wind crest, though. I like wind crest, and I think that's going to be useful for this build. Because it's, again, another way to get static if we get the chance to use it. So, that could be kind of good in this particular setup. Is it better than this currently? Kind of does work. Kind of does work. We'll move along here. We'll gain a spell again. Ether Coil is kind of the thing that I would like to get, or something similar to it, so I will pick it up, just because the fact that if I can get more and more of the static gain, or at least like each turn a little bit. There is the Storm one I would like as well, but we've got to be able to cast that for more value as such. And maybe we'll go like a bit more of a countdown static-y deck. Have a swig of my Pepsi. Yeah. What are you guys a fan of? Are you guys a fan of Pepsi or are you a fan of Coke? Like, what's the difference between everyone on that? You know, professional curiosity, call it. Because for me, I'm a big fan of my Pepsi, to be honest. And I prefer the Pepsi Max versus like the full sugar drink, which is a bit of a weird one. And I prefer a sugary Coke, so I think that might be nostalgia talking, but who knows really, right? The cool thing about this is this triggering still gives me the static gain, so I kind of want to do that anyway. Irrelevant if I don't gain that, because this being half and stuff is still pretty good, and then we still get to kind of maybe like take this guy out pretty quick. Plus, like, it also will help me trigger this stuff as well later. That goes to 2, which is pretty good. Guess we'll put the even in there. Do we turn that to a 3? Actually, we just do 4, can't we? Because it does both what I want anyway. Do we have another way to get a 4, though? No, not like that. We did not get another 4. We got a 1, though. The main thing is gaining the static, I think, more than anything else, right? Put that in there. Do I want the armor here, or do we want to attack? I think we want to attack. Deal with, like, this big guy as much as I can, and maybe I'll get more again, and we'll be able to, like, one-shot them next turn, maybe, if I get, like, good die rolls or something. We did not. So that's something you have to watch out for. Although, doing this, at least trigger this, we'll get good defense. That is brilliant. And I think just setting up a bit more defense on that, just so we can kind of maximize this die. We go to a 6, no, we go to this and just deal the countdown damage, I think. Also gain static, this is 40, so it does the 2 effects that I want it to anyway, right? I have 8. I need to get more. If I get 2 plus 2 on there, we're not really getting what we want anyway, so I guess we're just gonna have to try and get some defense from this. Or I guess we're applying weakness to everything anyway. I think that's a good start, right? I want to cast this, but I can't. It's very awkward to do that, and I think we're going to have trouble doing it anyway. So that's 6 and 5. I still need to spend a die to get it as well, which is not great. Take 4 damage from that. I can't kill that one off either. That's the annoying part. I guess we'll just have to attack this. And maybe just get a bit more static generation. Just so we can get, like, good defense. Oh, I attacked the wrong thing there. Well, 8 is still good enough. We take a bit of damage for it. Um, 7, 11, that is good enough. 46 damage, cool. So yeah, I just need to get more static. It needs to be consistent for the defense. That's the only bit we're having issues with. The extra die is pretty good. I like this one. But what else have we got for here? Solid electricity. I like this for the rolls and stuff. I think I can get better than this, so we'll roll. We did not get better than that. Guess Tempest Lash it is for now, because that might be somewhat usable. And then I think dividing a die is still good. And then we'll move on. Kind of regret rolling there, but like there is, as we all know, Wings of Thunder is so broken that I kind of will always go for it every single time. Start battle, receive a 1 pretty much, so we could go for something good with 1s if we get the opportunity to, or bosses have 10% max health. I guess bosses have 10% max health is fine. We want to go this way to do the final boss, so let's go do that. But that's a question as well, for those people that are kind of like quite big on your SpellRogue and stuff like that, is like, because like I will admit I probably don't interact with the community as much as I probably should do. Oh, I forget that actually does that, because that's the first die rolled each turn that splits this immediately. That's good. But those are involved in the whole SpellRogue community, like is it always the true ending now? Is that like the play for everything that we do? You gain the static first. Nice. Good to know that. Then spending this is more important, I think, isn't it? So put that in there. Overflow that. We get 2 4s. That's great. Again, we do this. Do that on attacking. So we're going to try and take you down a peg. Do it again. We get good defense from this. And all those go in there. Not bad first time. Like, the main thing with this is it kind of like forces me to get like good stuff on repeat a little bit better. And also helps me kind of generate with the shock a little bit easier as well, because if I get 5s, I have a chance to get 3s or 4s, and same with 6s. And if I get like 1s or 2s, we got stuff we can roll without having to worry too much about stuff. Right? So now I can do 28 and just take this guy out, but we want to wait for that for a second, I think. And just roll to get rid of that, which again, the 2. That's a bit disappointing. So I guess we're killing this one off. Where are we? Yeah, we killed that one off. Just so we don't have to deal with him. I guess the 6 goes here. And then we get that defense. Might as well. I must say, like, getting as much static as I am in a turn is actually kind of nice, right? Yeah, use the 4 first. Do that, and we have that becomes a 5, which is kind of not ideal, but we'll deal with it. That then we should split terribly. Question is do I just go for more here? No, I think we just go here. We'll get stronger over time. And then we'll one-shot them all independently with like the countdown stuff and all that cool jazz. We have a 5 that I can't really use. We have a 2, which we can get some defense with immediately. So let's do that. Then roll this into an overflow, which did not work out. We'll do it again though. Very well, game. Very well indeed. I need some way to abuse 2s and 1s, is I think the setup I need, so I can actually like get more value out of them. Otherwise, this kind of like build is going nowhere. So I can get like 3s and stuff, and that's pretty good, but it doesn't really help in the long term. Right? That's another 3. We can do that damage there then. Get the countdown effect trigger, do that, and we do take a bit of damage. Guess we just kill this one off. My die is just now hovering there. I don't need to defend now, so we're in a pretty good state on that. We just deal some damage and then try and force some extra defense, so I don't really want to take 9 there. Yeah, we'll just leave that. Oh, we kill him anyway. The static gain. Yeah, I just need more consistent static gain, I think. Like, that's not great, don't like that. Bladed Wings is kind of irrelevant. I think we'll take the reroll here. Cloud Dance, I kind of like the idea of, because this just gives good damage. The Wrath is kind of interesting, and being able to shift it as well, it just also keeps increasing its damage on repeat if we do go for that particular thing. And Cloud Step is kind of nice in the sense that if you keep moving this across, you have some benefit, but you need to be able to move it across, so yeah. I think what I need to get is just like another shard, and then we can like get more spells to help me out, because I think that's my major problem at the moment. Did that just trigger twice? I think that's a glitch if that is triggering twice. Yeah, I shouldn't have this many die. Like, because this die at the start of the battle rolls, then it gets split because it's start of battle, then the start of the turn triggers, and it triggers again. Please, people, fix that. That shouldn't... I mean, I'm not complaining about it, but it shouldn't happen like that. You are attacking, so we'll deal more damage and get my reduction. And we'll trigger these as well, just because of the fact that we can get more splitty dice. I am at... That is a 14 defense, so that is actually worth doing. This is giving a static for a bit of chip damage, and that will set that up. This is the guy that does all the broken stuff and everything else as well, which is very annoying, because like you have to kind of deal with that, so... I guess we're just going to get the good defense first, get the overflow triggered. That ended terribly. Do the same thing again then. I will say that this annoyance that keeps happening with them splitting very awkwardly on repeat is becoming kind of frustrating to deal with, right? Because like I'm looking just to get like good splits in other areas because that would give me the most benefit. And that's kind of really what I want, rather than kind of what is going on, really. And that is pretty good. We do have a 1 to kind of go in here if we want it, which we'll take it. That becomes a 4 into a 6. There's not actually, because we've got rid of all the defense. Make sure we're fully defended then. We'll one-shot this guy like after the fact, so... if that's not broken. It is a crying shame that the game likes to punish me for playing the game. Put that in as well, then do this again. That triggers, we get a good amount of defense. This is nearly there, ready to go. Actually, this is working really well. The shock and the conjugate static is actually working really, really well. Like, I didn't think it would work as well as it is, but it's working brilliantly. Oh, he's not attacking, that's why. I thought, yeah, I killed him. This is a very interesting set of combo up, which is has some decent consistency. Ooh, my favorite. Ooh, but this, though, when attacked. Just gaining static this way could also be pretty good. The issue is the shifting and stuff. I'm not really a fan of it, but... It's not bad. Dark Mirage is kind of interesting. Replicate dice into other spells. I don't mind this idea, and into adjacent spells as well, so like there are ways that could benefit me, like into this and this with the spaces that I could have. Dark Mirage could be useful. The cage, though, is actually like really good defense that I kind of would like to have, so goodbye you. I'm going to keep Temper Slash for now. Is Ether Coil might be a little bit too slow. I'm going to pick up Dark Mirage. I think there's more use in that than there is anything else. Just for me. And I'm going to go Crisis Orb because I feel like I just want more defense anyway. And let's go face this boss that hopefully doesn't kill me. Is the plan, I guess. Got some interesting potions, but not the best, and it is one of the worst ones for me to try and hit because I don't have very many attacking spells. Yeah, that is splitting 2 die. That shouldn't work like that, unfortunately. I think that is an issue with the game, but... well, not much I can really do about it, unfortunately. 8-2 can go there to give me some good armor stuff. We can do that for 3 to at least get more static. Do it again as well. So we can set a really good defense if we want. Do this just to overflow this thing. Again, that is some more static. And then we'll do this to get the full amount of defense we need, and then put that down. Price of Orb is going to be something we'll use to try and like force good defenses and stuff. If we can, so. I will admit, having this trigger in the right way is actually working really well for me. Yeah, I kind of want to just do this and kill that guy off. Trigger this, get the defense we need. And just not cast this, because I actually am fully defended, so yeah. The Discordant. I hate the fact they keep applying wound. That's becoming very frustrating. Cool, a 3 and a 4. So that's absolutely fine. This will give me enough defense anyway, so let's do that. That's actually pretty good. Yeah, we can kind of force this a little bit. So the main point will be like when the actual dangerous split starts trying to work its way through. We should be able to work our way around it. I kind of want to, but I guess we do it this way first. Then we do this and that, which keeps that down. Cool. Then take a bit of damage, get that to a 4. So I know this is the real one, right? And just try and get that down as low as possible, so if I do get the good cast off, we'll get good hits. We're not going to be in like dangerous trouble. Maybe. We're just going to cast this immediately, because that's quite a good amount of defense and stuff, and not have to worry about the rest of it all. That's going to be a 3 onto there, because I'd rather try and kill something off if we can. Do the same here. I mean, this one, that's the real one now, so we have a good opportunity to kind of get away with this in a way. And that is 10 and 12. Beautiful. That worked brilliantly. I should say so myself. We have to take Soulstone here, although like Gather would be actually pretty cool because it sets on the die and, you know, gives me static and stuff. But Soulstone is kind of like the payoff for what we're doing. We need to get this because otherwise we're going to have issues later, and I guess we're going to put in Windcrest for now. Or are we? Like, the only other option is I put Dark Mirage and put it here, right? Because that way we can kind of, like, keep this fed as such. Or is Windcrest really more important for the reroll and stuff? So I think that the extra charge on this is going to be more important later down the line. I'll try out the Dark Mirage first. And do we go shop here? We got enough for the shop, so let's go shop. And then we got the... Either way, we do have something we can get later. Buy the potion first, because we do want to do the last little bit. Galvanic Fling seems interesting, would like it. Air Wall would be really good if we were having that sort of build, but we're not. Sky Flare is not really what I want, although that would be kind of interesting. And Magnetize, a little bit too weird, so I guess we're buying a Relic. And what are we getting here? Every third turn gain dodge. All dice persist between rounds. I think that's great, actually. Let's take that. And yeah, I think that is all we need. Unless we want to try and get something more decent. I would need 75. Which is 15, 30, 45, 60. So not enough. Shame. Let's leave. And do we go battle? No, we'll go event first, because you might get something decent. Spring into action is pretty good defense, actually. Especially when it's upgraded. Or lose max life for God. No, let's just heal and get a potion. And throw that away. File of regeneration. I think gives me more health in long term. Would have been nice if I got a shard there, but can't really do much about that. Now, the cool thing I like about this is... You want to see me gain static? We will gain static. We will do it in amazing ways. Yeah, like, this is just really good now. And I can even just, like, stock up more static as well. That's the other thing. I can actually even cast this straight away. That's hilarious. So, that, and kill the front guy off, right? And then because these dice persist, I get to kill them. Oh, we got a build on our hands, folks. We have a build. I should actually keep a sparked, static die around if I can, right? Yes, I should keep a sparky die. Just so I can keep, like, repeatedly using it and, like, adding value to it and stuff like that. Okay, you're not doing damage to me, but, like, these attacks are still good enough to, trigger it anyway. And then we want to put, like, 3s and stuff into this, if we can, because they also become 4s and trigger other stuff, and 2s don't matter, 1s can do the same thing. And Overflow, that's another bunch of 4s. 2 can go there. Getting evens, might as well. Do we do 44 damage? I think it's just save the die pretty much here. Yeah, the suppress is annoying, but I got enough die to counteract that, so I'm not actually that worried about it. I actually got loads of really bad die there as well. That's kind of hilarious. Guess we'll set that up. It should have triggered all the broken stuff as well, so we can kind of just work our way around that. 4 to deal that, and that triggers both of those. That 2 can go there. Do this again. Did not go the way I wanted it to, but we're not... No, we haven't killed them yet, so that's kind of annoying, but... I guess we'll just min-max my defense up, and then we have 50, but we'll hold it off. This is actually such a good pickup. I didn't realize how good this was going to be with this build, and now I can like actually sort of really abuse it and take good advantage of it as well, so... This is going to be like a lot of fun for me. And the fact I got the upgrade to gain static from this is also really helping out as well, right? Wish I could have got more there before I did that, but I didn't because I was in a Muppet. But we can still kind of like min-max some stuff, get extra die, that sort of jazz. All my die persists, so we don't need to worry about that. There is the dice eater I got to watch out for, which I'll have to try and use on my die if I can, so that's one thing we'll have to plan out for as well. I am liking the fact that I can just keep gaining lots of armor and static. Like this alone, I guess, is that even upgraded yet? Don't have room for that potion. Absorb potential is really good for the way that we're going to be using everything else as well. Overclock would seem interesting, but I'm not really that much a fan of it. We'll take the absorb potential, and I'm going to throw that away and take the foresight potion. Oh, this is such a good setup with the Dark Mirage that I don't really want to take it away. Right? Like, absorb potential is really good. It kind of fits into the build. But I need the Soul Stone. Or do we ignore the Soul Stone until the end fight is the last, like, the thing I want to take out? No. I want to get it done. Get rid of Focus Blast. Swap that out. Swap those over. No, don't do that. And we'll just have to try and deal with it like this. Use that. Get the Void Key. And hopefully we'll be good. We'll have to see. The main plan, first of all, is try and keep these die around as much as possible. Because they just are going to make such a massive difference. So, like, chuck 6s in here because I don't want to use them. And then, like, put this into a 4 so it becomes something else. And it becomes a 6 so we can start, like, reusing those as much as possible. Like, generate more die out of it. That was really good. You're attacking, so we're going to attack you anyway. Gain a bit more defense as well, so we are fully defended. And just put that in there for the 2 and then pass turn. Keep these around because with the Sparky on them, they're actually pretty useful to kind of generate other die when they're used. And again, we're just going to keep doing this. We'll get good defense from that, so we can set most of the stuff up. Put that in there. Use one of these die to kind of like generate more die and just keep doing that on repeat. And then eventually this will just deal so much damage it'll be kind of like pointless to argue. Yeah, and we just spend the other die anyway because he needs to go into this to activate on that guy anyway. And then eventually this should be one-shotting everything. Like, yeah, this is such a good setup. Like, I might not even need the Wind Crest actually now looking at this build. Right? You just keep doing this to kind of like generate a little bit of static and then generate more die and just keep doing that on repeat. This should always be like one of the bigger value die I have and then just go from there. I think the only disadvantage is it's like the other die end up generating, like, are they going to have any decent value? I do need to trigger this though, don't I, to defend? Yeah. Okay. Haven't been thinking this through. Okay. No, keep this around because this might be useful and put that in there. So to cast this, put that in there. Do this to a 1, that becomes a 4 now. It tried to stop me, game, but it didn't work. I have enough defense, that is fine. I could look to try and one-shot them, but I think applying this to that guy first is a better choice. And then, yeah. I now think I'm in a better state. That becoming a 6 would be pointless. Do it for this one. And then roll this into a 1, do the exact same thing we're doing there, and you have a 2, and you have another 2, which does one-shot this guy. I don't need to defend or anything else, so we'll just do that, and then I guess I'll put the 5 in here and pass turn. You have 66 damage on this now. I will admit, it's very annoying when you only get like a bunch of 1s and stuff on repeat for some odd unapparent reason. So I'm trying extremely hard to make sure that this doesn't become an issue all the time, but it just seems to be on repeat that I only get like extra 1s. Although this is kind of nice, the Christ of the Orb. Now I'm wondering, does this always increase by 1, or is it increased by 1 per? Or does it just give me 1 at the moment? Interesting idea. Like, does each application trigger something different? Because that's a really good question on that front. 88 damage. Well, I'll get the kill on that anyway. And then I guess we'll go 2 and a 2. And then just save the rest. Yeah, I'm going to have too many die late game. So I could actually sacrifice a die on the startup actually now, I think. For like a critical or something. That would be kind of cool. That didn't work out the way I wanted to. Just the 6 goes there. Keep the 5 here. That'll duplicate the die. We have another 1. We have 2 3s. You're attacking. You're also attacking. I don't have any evens though. So I guess we're getting the 1 on that. Get as much defense as possible. We take 2 damage. But I guess we'll increase this. And yeah. Yeah, let's put the 2 in there. This is 110 damage now. Breath of Thunder. I'm sorry, Breath of Thunder. I may have badmouthed you at one point. Like, I do see your potential, and I saw it back then as well, but, you know, my simple mind clearly could not appreciate just how good you could be. Yeah, we just do this. That'll roll into a 6 or something. And that from there. Kill this guy off. And set some minor defense up. I remember this is a very fun kind of build. Like, I'm already generating like at least 1 static around with this die anyway, because I use it twice here. So that's always really good. Or I don't need to generate it if I already have the static from the previous turn. Just shut the 6 in there. That becomes an offensive tool immediately. Isn't enough for the kill though, which is a bit of a problem. So I guess this goes here. I'm gonna do that again. I think I have to give up on the continuation of those sparky die. So I guess that's where I need to be able to generate one if I want one. Just so I can like keep having lots of them and not have to worry about it. You're attacking me, so you take the hit. Ouch, that actually really hurt me there. I think that I forgot that triggered on that. Could look to trying to save stuff, but yeah, curse my 1 to give me 2 1s, that'd be great. Really? It didn't work like that? That's terrible. I don't have any spark die at the moment. I have no way to generate them without actually spending it first, so we'll do that. Another 2. I guess we're taking the one-shot approach then? Yeah, I guess we are. Take out the biggest guy, and just defend with the rest. It's an interesting run. I'm struggling with this fight in particular, just because I only have really like 1 attack, and I don't have a way to keep like min-maxing everything in the way I would like to min-max it. Like, that's the actual issue. Let's just set up the defense and stuff, right? We'll lose all the static, keep the die for next turn, and then we have good defense. We have 10, which will one-shot anything. Look at that, so many low die on that. I swear this game is biased in some ways. Right. But it does not matter. Void key's done, that's nice. We're all good on that front. We can take our win and enjoy it and laugh until the cows come home. Okay, the Fury game would seem nice, and we do have really good stuff. The countdown effect reduction would be interesting, but I kind of want to force this. So I think we go Rage Blade just to help out with that scaling. Because with the conditions of these two, we're actually kind of doing quite well anyway. Wailing Wings, Kuma, which I do like. Flurry, which is kind of like the reverse of what I already have, and... I guess Flurry is my payoff card if I continuously stack, but it removes it, which is the issue again. I'm not a fan of that. This is my better. I should go for a reroll if I get the chance, because defensively I think I'm good. I just need like a decent offensive spell, which I would like my Wings of Thunder or the Ether Storm, which could actually work out really well here. So we'll take the Ether Storm. I think overall this is actually really good as a setup if we get ways to kind of like really min-max it. For now it's not the best because Mirage is better, and like then we have Absorb Potential as a backup on this as well to kind of help out with other things if we do get more shards and stuff, right? We want more shards if we can. Spells have -1 in X effects. Do we have any X effects? We do. Oh, we do have this, but I'm not really using it for that. And 3 to 4 will still deal 2 damage and stuff. This doesn't matter. We'll actually disenchant it now because I don't care. I'd rather have the gold currently. Yeah, I think actually taking the X effects thing is fine. I get to gain a spell as well. I don't really see anything else being any more benefit to it. Like, this could also, like, not be actually that bad. Depending on the builds. Arc is kind of interesting, but we don't really care about it. Could look at rerolling. We'll reroll and just see. Gather is kind of nice, because it does set die to my value that I want them to be. And also gains, so I will pick that up. Do we have a 2 elite fight? We do not. We have lots of fights that way if we do go that way. I do want a shop, which I guess we'll go for this one maybe. And we also get the everything else. So duplicate a spell. There are some interesting effects here that I could look at duplicating. So Breath of Thunder is the one I'm thinking of duplicating because I actually have the shard on it. And I think that I can disenchant that to get the shard back, which is what I want, right? Or we can lose 2 spells to gain the shard, which just seems completely pointless. Or we can, yeah, so let's just pluck the flower, duplicate this, so I get another one. Then we disenchant it for the shard back. Having 2 of them would be great, but I'd rather have the shard. Like, I don't need 2 attacks that kind of constantly scale. That gaining itself could also be pretty good as well, though. Now, what do I want to put in here? Do we just put the gather in, or do we just keep the... No, I think the set is kind of really important. Or do we go absorb potential? I'm going to mess around with absorb potential first. Just so I feel like I have more control over this. And I can have, like, ways to trigger it. And then it'll be a question of, like, do I want to trade this out for this so I can keep gaining static and then trigger this later? Or... yeah, let's try the wind crest here for the dice roll. We have this as well. Does gather work? I think gather works better. No, because wind crest allows me to keep maintaining really good value. And then we'll go and fight this fight for now and see what happens. So I've gave up a defensive option, which allows me to generate static consistently. To generate static in this particular way, right? So now my only defense here is conjugate static. But because we have this, which I can generate 3s and stuff like that with, we have some way to get around it. So now I can chuck this in here. My scaling in power comes from this particular spell as well, so that's also another benefit we have. I can turn this into a 2. We still keep the 6, so that's kind of nice. I might actually put the 6 in here because it returns it with -1 as well, so I should keep the die as well. It's kind of good. We have a 3 to deal some damage. Then Dark Mirage will at least get me lots of static. And no, we need to go this route, don't we? That way I keep everything. The other thing is this shock actually does a good amount of damage now, even with the Rage Blade, because of the plus 15 it gets. So as chip damage, it's actually still pretty good, right? Essentially it does a good, just like a solid amount of damage straight away. And splits everything across, so... although minus effect is hurting this generation. Okay, I guess that might be the thing that I've caused problems with. Oh, well. The overflow on that seems pretty good. We got another 3 then. So I guess we're looking at 2 4s going into this now, I guess? Maybe? 30 damage is quite a lot. I can't pass that up. Put that in there then. Just pass turn. And this was given like 3 static now, as well as actually pretty good. I'm messing around with this build quite a lot, and I think we have something here. I think we do have something. The 5, that's brilliant. I was gonna say, like, if I get 5s, then we get to trigger this anyway. Oh, none of you were actually attacking. That's kind of interesting. Was not expecting that. Take one of you guys out. And carry on. Man, that's a lot of static I generated. Okay, you've got this stupid thing on you. I guess I ain't doing damage to you anytime soon, so we just need to generate the rest of the stuff we're trying to do and then go from there. 2 4s. Can't really deal attack damage, so we'll just get the 35 block here. Wind crested up. Put that in there. Because it just duplicates it, gives me the 4, which gives me a 6, which will do that in here. Turns it with -1, that's extra static gain, and then do that, we get to roll a 3, that in there, that in there, and that in there. Okay, now we should be able to one-shot you, right? Yeah. This is a fun build. I like this. It's a little bit more complex than like the standard static generation build, but I like it. After Image is interesting. Vexing Skies is kind of cool, just because it removes everything. It does give me a good amount of die back. That could be interesting. I'll pick it up. Like the idea of it. So Windcrest is kind of good. I will admit that. That is nice. But I think I don't need it to kind of keep going with it. Right? I cast a lot of spells. It is useful. Has its uses to generate other die and get the static going. I think the Gather could be more interesting. Just to kind of like gain. And because like this will trigger off that anyway consistently with either a 3 or a 4, we just do that instead of the conjugate static. Right? And then this will... And then put this on the other side of it. And then maybe get the upgrade to this one so it can put any spell in there. And then these can trigger off each other. And this will get like discounted as well. I think this could be a better setup. Let's try this one out instead. Do I want another ritual or do we want to... No, let's just go for the... This. Receive Stifle. Start a battle. Mute 1 random spell. I guess that's actually kind of fine. I don't think it can really hurt me that badly. Right? Like, that would be pretty cool, having that effect trigger, but... Moving is kind of pointless, extra static is pointless, adjacent countdown on that could be pretty cool, or just the flexibility to be able to use it more often. I like the flexibility usage, but I think the increase in this is kind of more important here, to be able to put anything into it. Just because that way I can, like, make more use out of it long term. We'll see what the shop gives me. If the shop gives me something broken, we might have, like, really cool stuff going on. Tornadomancy. Is this something I want to take up? Relay is kind of good. I like Relay. That's kind of like not a bad thing to pick up and get more reduction in it, although it's an X effect, which is not great. Tornadomancy could be pretty good as well. And kind of does fit the build that we're kind of going for here. But not really. Apply status effects more often. Each turn, gain power, receive a sap. I already got power scaling. I don't need that really, although it is really good. Healing before you enter a boss fight would seem pretty interesting. I don't apply status effects, so we're not going to bother picking that up. When aligned, don't care. -3 countdown to random spell each turn. I'll take that. And then, do we just get rid of Ether Storm now, or Vexing Skies? I think Ether Storm is something I would love to still use if I get the opportunity for it, so I will keep it. Windcrest can go. We don't need that. I think Vexing Skies is a little bit too out there for the build, so we'll remove that as well. And then I guess Spark Shield is also going, just because I think we should have enough defense by itself, just so I can get one more of these. Every 4 attacks we never use. Every 3 we gain a concoction. I think we get rid of Ether Storm as well, to be honest. I would love the Ether Storm to work and like really kind of... The problem is Ether Storm is such a good payoff that I kind of want to keep it around just because I want to use it. So I guess we gain the concoction just because like a free use could be pretty useful. And just not the Ether is what we're looking for on this. Okay, it's this guy. The Depleting Presence guy. Muted on that, that's absolutely fine. So what are we doing first then, guys? I guess we're doing this into there after using the 5, though. I've got to use the 5 first. You aren't attacking, so this just going into this is pretty good. It lands on the 4, nice. And do that again. That's 2 4s. So we're going to split this across. And do that again, I guess. We get a 3 back. I guess we can attack to at least get some damage out, maybe. And then they don't need defense, so put that in here. I do love the split on this. It's just way too good. 15 damage. Triggers both of those. The Gather crits another 3, which is kind of fine, I guess. Do that again. That's not 4. Guess the Dark Mirage has some uses after all. And then, yeah. Take the Fade, I don't care. I'd rather get all the static I can this turn and not worry about it later. So Dark Mirage, I think, first is a good call. He's not attacking me, so there's no point doing any of that random stuff either. So I guess we'll just do this. You don't need the defense either, to be honest, either, do we? I guess we'll attack then, just because that will actually do something about it. And then put 1s across, get a die back. Do it again with a 3. And then put that in. Now we're at 54 currently. You can gain a good amount of defense off that. This is where we can still get defense, so we're not worried either on there. 71 damage. I think we'll just do this and roll, see what that happens there. Take the 50-50. Did not get it in the way we wanted to, but that's fine. Let's just try that again. Get extra die if we can. No, don't use the Fade this time round. It's a bad idea to do that. Just because I need to one-shot them now with the Fade on this. There we go. So it's like, yeah, there's no point attacking, otherwise I might not be able to kill them. Potion, Shard is brilliant. Cage is kind of cool. Paramagnetize is always interesting. Twin Shield. Again, I want something really good on that, but do I have a shop coming up? No, so we can just look for the reroll then. Anything decent here? Jolt, so I kind of like the idea of. That's kind of cool. Also, just 8 damage minus 1 charge. That's a lot of damage. I like the Jolt. It's kind of cool. The X effects are kind of disappointing for 1s and stuff, but I guess it's kind of worth taking away. I guess I'll take the Arc for now instead. This having more uses, I think, would be a really good setup, just because I can then do more with it, right? Or do we go with the adjustments on that? Because I could put this in a particularly good place if I get to cast it. Yeah, I think that's better. And then what I do is Dark Mirage goes there. This goes between those two. That triggers that and that. Yeah? Or does Gather come out now? And then we play with Ether Storm. Swap that over. Have Ether Storm here. And trigger this way. Yeah, I think this is the play. This is the build. With that being said, because that's the build, we're going to take max life here. I'm not going to force it any further than I need to. It's an interesting run and a good run, and I don't want to ruin it. That's... Okay, that kind of stops my scaling for a little bit, but that's kind of also fine as well in some aspects. The -3 as well in the countdown is also the reason why I kind of wanted to play this a little bit this way. Right? It's like here we can do this and get a 4 out of it, but I do want to use this 4 first because we got to take this thing out. They're a pain to deal with. So Dark Mirage goes in there. I get all the good value stuff. We do get a 6. Now we can do this. Roll it back into a 5. And then do this again. We get like the Ether Storm really working. Like we can literally cast the Ether Storm if we wanted to. But I need to get some defense, otherwise we're going to have problems, so... 36, that's pretty good. And then we'll keep the 1 around because, again, like this cool stuff. Maybe we don't even need it. Yeah, we don't need that. We got this. We're just going to hold it to the Sparky Die to use the Absorb Potential immediately and then just go from there. Oh no, 3 1s. What will I ever do? Oh, look, I cast it immediately. That's delightful. Use that. Then put that in there, I guess. Just because it will trigger this and then, yeah. Do it again. This and I'll trigger this one. A 6 and a 2. Just can't use it anywhere else, but hello. I need, again, a good amount of defense. I don't have anything else to cast, so that can go in there. I need 3, so that, and that. I guess the shock is the only thing that's really bad in this build now. The Ether Storm with the Cyclone is going to work wonders late game and stuff, so I ain't going to complain about that. I love now the Echo Die is actually going to be like really useful here. In just like causing mayhem for everything else, and then I get to do this as well. Two and 2. And then we get to do this again. Oh no, we want to use the 6s and the 5s and stuff anyway before we start that. Put that in there then, I guess. So the Absorb Potential is done. The 2 can stay around. Do this again. Another 6. That sounds delightful. We'll gain my full 60 defense. This is kind of dumb, isn't it? And then I guess I got to attack, don't I? I guess I got to attack. I would have wanted to attack this guy, but I'll do the damage here, then use this one to kill that guy off instead. And then because that guy's still attacking, I might as well attack with the... No, keep the Echo. Keep the Echo Die. It's so much more useful. Right? Because, like, if I get this as a 6 or something, then we can, like, do work wonders. We can just do this and then, like, double echo this. That didn't work the way I thought it would. That's disappointing, Echo Die. I feel very disappointed in you. And good damage there. Okay, we got a build on our hands, guys. We have a build on our hands. Ooh, a 1. Like, I'm going to gain so much defense from all the stuff and things like that as well, but I think, like, long term, as long as I get past those few early turns, and I've got, like, good setup, I got Crisis Orb. Man, that's how much well this is going. I even forgot I had Crisis Orb. Yeah, because as long as I keep this die around, like, we're just going to do so well with gaining lots of other die and stuff. Oh, it's not attacking, okay. I guess we'll just end this now then. 144. Ah, Wings of Thunder, you decide to show up. You know what, I really would like you, Wings of Thunder. You are brilliant, but I don't think you actually fit the build for what I really want to do anymore. Unfortunately. I mean, maybe it's better than Shock, because it does a lot more. And I think that's actually a way about it I should go. I do lose the minor generation from it, from the Shock, which helps scale, but then I get it from the Ether Storm anyway. So yeah, I think we just do that, because, like, it's actually still pretty good, and then we'll just disenchant the Shock now to get that back. This now basically is going here, so we can basically get more of them, and then far end here. I think that's still the best play. And do we need to kind of like maybe shuffle other stuff around a little bit? No, I should be able to cast this quite easily. And give me max life because I don't care about anything else. I should take a spell because we've got stuff coming on anyway, but I think 2 spells is good enough to get past the thing. I don't need any more upgrades and stuff, right? Oh no. The one thing I actually care about. I'm so distraught straight away. Well, I mean, I could do like 27 damage and kill pretty much both the hands immediately if we want. And then I can't get any defense from that, so... That's a 3, so that could actually work here. Ah, yeah, I don't have any static. That's the other issue I don't have either. Oh, I guess we're using the potion immediately? Nah, we can use the regen potion here. Deal that. And then put this down there, and guess we'll get at least 2 armor. Just because that will help out, kind of like keep me alive. Oh yeah, predicted the one thing that I was always going to cast anyway. This game's bias tree is very particular. Have the predicted, see if I care. Ether Storm can be cast, we should cast it. And then cast my defense. And we're done. Like, they can keep slapping predicted, but I think I should be able to outscale damage, and eventually this should one-shot stuff anyway. The fact that now we've got the Ether Storm up as such is kind of the important bit. The 4 should go away first, so we'll chuck it in there. I guess this 3 should go here as well, right? Just because it's going to trigger a lot of other stuff simultaneously, so it's kind of like the whole point of why I put that die there in the first place. I still need to get defense and trigger everything else, so... put that there. That and that going there to the defense, so we're pretty much sorted there. And I guess the 1s and stuff can start just going back into Ether Storm. The scaling is all I care about. We got the 5 here. We don't need any more die than that. Oh no, you're going to predict that. That sounds like a great plan. I'm being salty a little bit as well. I forgot the concoction that still happens as well. Like, that's so good. Put this in here. We still keep the 6. It's brilliant. Just because the 6 is what allows me to get more of the static on repeat on this, plus then 5 can go in here and stuff, and we'll just use 3 though. And I need defense, so I guess the 5 has to be used, guys. Much disappointment. And that goes in there. Cool, that landed in the actual one I wanted, so I'll do that, roll that, and turn. Because the main thing now is like the punch 8 static will actually get me more and more defense because of like once I've got the electrified up and everything else, like we're going to be a good spot. So that's kind of like the main point of what I wanted to focus on. Do the Dark Mirage with this again. That turns to a 6, which can go into that. To a 5, get lots more static here. Get a 6 back, that'll overflow, get a 2. I guess the 3 goes in here. Kill a good amount of stuff off that we don't care about. Now he's get 7. Or do we go for the 1-shot something? No, we just go for the 1-shot. Kill this guy, or kill that guy, kill this guy. Goodbye hand. And then we can set the Ether Storm up. And keep that dice around. Get more of your prophecy, that's absolutely fine. We should be all still good. We still attack pretty much every turn, so like we don't really gain a lot from the Rage Blade, except like 15 extra damage per turn, which is actually still pretty good, right? I think that's probably the most weirdest thing here. I'm not actually using Rage Blade in the way that I probably should be. Did not happen in the way I wanted it to. Hold on. That goes there, that goes there, that goes there, and give me the 171 armor. Imagine if I kept all the static instead of like removing it. I think I would just be unbeatable at that point. Like the static itself could almost one-shot stuff. Without me really trying. That should trigger both of those. Get a lovely 6. Just put that in there. See what gets upgraded. Lands on the best one. I guess we're using this instead then, or ignoring it. Putting that in there. That goes in there. Trigger the damage. I need defense, so there you go. Trigger the Dark Mirage for this one. That should overflow that die. Now we can trigger this. And pass turn. I do love these runs. Because, like, eventually, like, I just get, like, really dumb stuff happening. Only because, yeah, the Fortify adds up onto spells, not this. Because, like, the amount of damage I end up scaling with just this one spark die, which comes from this. Like, I don't gain it anywhere else. It's just kind of funny to me. Let's prophesize this, gain my armor, so we're at least not worrying about it for later, and then deal with the rest of the stuff we've got to deal with. That rolls a die, that goes there, that becomes a 6. Do we deal damage, or do we just go for another Ether Storm? Last turn. So what static are we on at the moment if we finish the turn? Like, as long as I don't use the defense, like, do I get enough static to, like, take stuff out with it? Because currently, like, well, I gain that's 80 static in just, like, a couple of turns. That's hilarious. And then we just put that into 4, gain the armor, and then we're sorted for the rest of it. The 3, I guess, goes in this. To kind of trigger the rest of them. And I guess we just deal the damage here. Oh, I hit the wrong one. So I have 12 static. Do the predicted. Go straight into that. We have a 6. 6 comes back. We have more 2s. Put that 2 in there. Gain the armor all we can. Then trigger this. Gain lots of static. then I guess we go for the one-shot. Although we don't even need to do really, but I guess I've already mucked that up now. Well, there we go. Ooh, achievement. Kill Umbraxis with 13 or more prophecy. Very nice. We just allowed him to gain as much as he needed. These little runs that I always enjoy the most is the ones that, like, you're thinking, hang on a minute, this shouldn't work the way it does. But it does work the way it does, because that's how the game functions. Lose Skull, I think that's fine. Like, 60 gold could be pretty good. We could lose the Iron Skin Potion, but that helps me quite a lot, so I'll gain the gold here, because again, a shop where I could buy spells could be pretty important. We'll pay some gold here, because I'd rather pay the gold than sacrifice any life. Enter shop, give the shard. I'm going to enter the shop, I think. No. Let's bind the souls. I think I've got enough spells to get away with it. Lose arc. That seems absolutely fine here, actually. Or lose conjugate static is way too good. Every 12 spells, reroll all dice to higher value. See, I would like that, but I think it's actually terrible. So I think I just take the damage here. And keep the shard. So you think I have to lose like 2 there? Or do we, every 24 spells cast instant? No, that's terrible. I'm going to have an issue with that. 2 point more... Moderator could be interesting. I think like setting this up so I can actually like do more. Do we gain more out of that? I think actually getting more charged out of this is important, because I think it's part of the reroll strategy. Losing 2 spells probably seems fine. I'll take the modifier here, which in this case, on enemy death, all turns gain undying. That's fine. Just because I don't really want to have any other issues. We'll lose the gather here, because I don't need that anymore. And let's face it against the battle boss. The final boss. Coming to near you. So yeah, let's begin. My main attack has already been taken out, which is not great, so we're gonna have to deal with that at some point as well, but we can get enough static hopefully, and we'll just... Do we need to use the potion? Maybe not. Maybe not. The main here is the fact that I just want to create lots of overflow triggers and like get a good amount of die. Let's go to a 5 now. That's a 3 and a 4, so we can trigger this just to deal damage to everything. That can go in there, that can go in there, that and that can do the same. You have a 4 back, a 2 and a 2 to give me a good amount of defense, and then we're done. I didn't even need to use the potion. This is where I kind of think like I'm now set up and ready to go kind of thing, right? Like I don't think I can actually like have a bad setup now. We just use this immediately on everyone. Let me just do this as well, because I need to like trigger this in some way. I wanted a 6. Come on, game. You know I wanted a 6. But we can force one anyway, so that's fine. There we go. And then get my defense. Is that enough defense? I guess it is enough defense. Kind of, maybe, not quite. Oh, this is the most defense I can probably get currently at the moment. We can't kill anything else off, so let's just set this up. And then pass turn. No, it played broken. I have a 1, so it's fine. Guess we'll use that 6 immediately, just so it's now gone. We have a 5 to go everywhere. Good chip damage. Use this 5 here again. Put that in there just so it triggers both of them, and then we got good defense of the turn if we need it, which we'll just do now. No, we don't need to do it now. That sounds like a terrible idea. I guess we'll kill one of these guys off, because that sounds like a brilliant idea. Ether Storm can be triggered, so we'll do it. We get a 1. And I guess we'll just generate a few extra die for the turn. And static. And then, yeah. Let the static kill something, maybe. Did not really work, but oh well. Yeah, I must say, like, even Rageblade isn't even needed in this. And if anything, the Rageblade's actually not helping me. Right? Like that's the silly thing to think about this. The Rageblade is actually a detriment more than it is a help. So let's gain some static. I'm just using them inefficiently now because it really does not bother me what I do. That go in there. Then we have the 5, a 5 and a 1. Just deal with the most damage guy, which I guess is this guy, because he'll do double damage if I don't. That becomes undying, that is fine. Reroll this just to gain static back. And pass turn. And then, after this, we just go straight into the final fight. So, yeah. Voila. Ah, the Nullify, which I don't really care about. I will admit that the fact that I get the die that splits and it's again means I get 5 die even though I'm minus 1 die down. So I'm only really meant to start with like 3 die. Not even that, I'm meant to start with 2 die a turn, which then becomes 3. But as I get 5, because that is basically a broken thing. It has to be broken. It's not be. There's no way that is intended. At least I wouldn't think it's intended, right? That's a 6. I can go in there then. I'm going to gain some static this way on there. 1. I think we still need to do that and trigger that to overflow a little bit. Just to get more out of it. We get the 3 back, that's good. Do it again on this. Then I'm going to put a 4 in there for 36, which gives me full armor. And I guess we'll use the potion. And save that for like some emergency block scenario. A bunch of extra die next turn is really good. Maybe we can just trigger everything and then have a laugh. Okay. So use that immediately to go in there. That can go over there. I don't want this for triggering anything important, so there we go. The real silliness of this is just like how much I've ended up generating static just from the die themselves. I think it's probably like ridiculous in how much I'm actually generating from that. Right? Plus then like all the other die I end up having as well that just trigger the same sort of effect. Set this up so when that goes off it's going to have some good fun. Then we'll just deal 44 damage here because why not at this point. And I guess we'll try and force these to kind of go and overflow a little bit. Cool. So yeah, I get 12 static and then that goes up every time I cast stuff, then this will give me more armor. So I go just like fully armor up now. But we'll wait a little bit. We'll see what we can do first. No, we won't. Yeah, that goes in there. Another 6, delightful. That'll save me great for the next couple of turns. Put the 5 there and there. take the 50-50 and get another 6 in the process. We hit the 50-50. That can go in there to get the extra die. We'll just use it immediately. And then I guess we'll just start trying to wind everything else up. No. Almost. Oh, it did at the end. It did affect it. I was going to say, like, my static should kill it, right? I guess we're just waiting around now to get the win. Yeah, conjugate static. Probably, in this particular build, for the defense sequential setup is really good. Wasn't too sure how I was really thinking about that, in my own opinion, but, must say, with the Dark Mirage and everything else as well, like, the build has really worked out in a better way than I thought it would be, right? I didn't think I'd come this far with it overall. I use the 4, I don't care about anything else. And then start using 2s to help scale this. And then that, and that to trigger that off. Could get the armor, but there's no point in my opinion. So just do we deal the damage? Deal the damage. Gain the armor. Small amounts of it here and there and everywhere. Repeat the process. The only thing I would like to have like this trigger repeatedly. 6 is not going to be a problem then. That's grand. Throw that in there first. Maybe we get a 6 at some point. Use the 5 to at least gain more scaling. Put that in there again. Lots of 5s they keep giving me. Guess we'll just set up defense. So we're not going to die in any weird way. Then set this up as well. I mean, I could start attacking, but I like having Ether Storm. Like, keep going on repeat. The power scaling, gonna gain another guy. Man, it's 3 1s. Who says this game was difficult to deal with? No. Set. Guess I should probably set defense up. I'm kind of like, I'm fed up with this now. There we go, finally. I guess use that attack at least. That in there. Do that. Cool. There's still 95 damage though, that's quite a lot. I will admit, I have become like almost slightly obsessed with this game recently, just because of all the other stuff I've been doing with it, and I've really kind of like been enjoying my time with it again, which is kind of nice. So like even if I kind of like stopped and started, it's kind of nice I can still come back to it and feel like the game is still really fresh. I think that's something that a lot of people kind of tend to underestimate with certain games, where it's like you can kind of almost like drop in and out of them. And I think it's like a really big thing if you're able to do that, right? There we go. Fly Vexed. Well, I'm not really happy about that. There's not much I can really do about it, so... What does that do? On dice spent, deal 2 damage. Oh, okay. I guess I should get defense first then, shouldn't I? Let's do that then. Just so I don't start taking lots of damage for no reason. Ah, I guess we're done. Like, I mean, I have, like, got the ability to, like, one-shot this guy, so let's do that. Breath of Thunder! I mean, that's a really good, and there we go, Air Veteran, level 10 as well. That's kind of nice. We got them all to level 10. I'm happy with that. It's a perfect kill on one of the elites. Ooh, Dynamo. What does this do? Every 10 dice rolled, random die becomes Sparky. That's kind of a nice thing as well, actually. That's going to be kind of semi-interesting. That was our overall build. I must say, that was far more interesting, and, like, to be honest, I think the Wings of Thunder change was actually pretty good. It just helped me scale to make sure that I could always defend myself a little bit quicker, because otherwise the absorb potential probably wasn't enough with the Electrify. But it really kind of showed off, like, how Ether Song can be useful if you can get its countdown down lower. And with some of the upgrades and spells we got, we really did make use of that more. Like, I was always thinking, like, this was one of those spells where, like, you maybe couldn't take advantage of it as much as you wanted to, but hey-ho, like, I'm gonna be happy with that anyway. There we go. That is now our level 10 Sephara. I guess my last things now are trying to unlock the other spells I haven't unlocked in my codex. And I guess maybe I might do a stream for that at some point as well. Or maybe I might just do them off camera. Who knows? But again, if you do enjoy these videos, do leave a like, subscribe to see more. And I will see you all in the next one. Take care.